is an SMS lead management platform that uses artificial intelligence and machine learning to communicate efficiently and effectively with your automotive leads and customers. Our mission is to deliver the most advanced conversational AI products and support to automotive retail. There are endless benefits to using AI and automated communication in your dealership, but there are key areas where Konect Ai is the right solution to address pains within the automotive industry. With Konect Ai, you now have the tools to acquire more, engage faster, and convert higher. For more information, visit us online at konect.ai. I'm Jill, and thanks for watching.
The #1 automotive sales podcast. Broadcasting around the world. 100% positive mindset on making over $100K a year. You want to make more money and close more car deals while keeping a positive mindset. This is the show for you. Broadcasting around the world. This is the Automotive Architect Sales Podcast with Ron Garverick.
Welcome to another episode of the Automotive Architect Sales Podcast. I am your host, Ron Garverick. Thank you for joining me today. We have another special guest. We've been wanting to get him on for quite a while, and unfortunately, with his busy schedule, it was not able to get done. But you know what? We have him on now. It's been a couple of weeks since I promoted that he's going to be on. But man, when you're dealing with the automotive space, it is crazy how this industry is getting so much busier now. And but we got a few sponsors for the show to make this show happen. Konect Ai. Konect Ai bridges the gap between tech tools and automotive communications. For over a decade, they've developed and continue to perfect the award-winning AI and texting platform to support retail and service operations in successfully connecting with customers at any phase in their journey. Check out Konect Ai for all your needs. VinQ developed a modern platform that provides vehicle lifestyle management for automotive retail dealers. Dealers access VinQ with a single sign-on and retrieve integrated data, allowing them to provide appraisals and pricing based on market value. Automate the merchandising of their websites, utilize the intelligent VIN-specific advertising engine, and leverage a vehicle buying center to buy cars from the public. Independent and franchise dealers alike are increasing profit and improving turn while outperforming their market. What are you waiting for? Learn more at vinque.com. That's VINQUE.com. Well, ladies and gentlemen, wait no further. Our special guest today is Konect AI one and only Jarrod Kilway. Jarrod, thank you for joining me today, my friend.
Ron, buddy, how are you? Always good to see you. Thanks for working around the crazy schedule that we have. So
you were in Vancouver. Was it California or Canada when you were trying to get on?
That was Canada. I was up in Vancouver, Canada, working with our amazing development team we have up there. And through a little travel hiccups that happened right into the United crazy flight element right around the 4th of July. So between planes, trains, and automobiles and flight delays, we weren't able to make it happen. But, hey, we're here now, and I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you. And we are live at the Konect AI studios. And, thank you for being a partner and a sponsor of the show. It's a great honor to partner up with you and a real privilege also.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, we love the partnership and the ability to educate the dealers and the industry of what AI is, what the potential is, where it's at now, and where it can go here in the future.
And you led into the first question I was going to ask is, what is AI for some of these old people or some of these people that are just not familiar with AI? What is AI?
AI has evolved, as I tell everybody. Just like we as dealers have had to evolve through COVID, through shutdowns, through inventory shortages. AI has evolved from where we thought of it as days in the past 10 years to where it is now. But AI is is based upon application specific. I mean, you could have AI with, your telephony provider or your phone provider to help, be a backstop for phone calls. You have AI like what we do at Konect AI, which is a conversational AI via SMS and text messaging to reach out to areas of opportunity within the store. But there's applications of AI being used today for photo touch-ups, to comment writing for your, used car vehicle comments, to, even, anything's possible. I mean, that's the beauty of AI, is the application is endless to what you can do and how you can apply it to your operation.
And how important is AI inside a dealership? How would it help?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing we hear as dealers, I talk to dealers all day, every day, much like yourself, and we're continuing to network with more dealers who want to be educated. It comes down to purely one thing: trying to find staff and trying to find the right staff. Unfortunately, we as an industry have lost a lot of our tenure through the COVID shutdown, and many of our high-performing team members had retired or have left the business completely. And we backfilled those with a lot of people through inventory shortages where we might not have trained them the right way. And now they're trying to chase that same paycheck that they had, past 18 months, and it's becoming quite difficult. And they're leaving the industry too. So we as dealers, as an industry, are finding it extremely difficult. Talking to people like Scott Trainer, of just trying to find the right people for the store to help keep up with all the demand for leads and reach out and following that e-com process. We don't have the people to really be able to maintain that guest level experience that we've tried to build over the past 15, 20 years.
And with Konect AI, you said it helps with the SEM and text messages. And it's funny you say that, because I was talking to somebody the other day about how to be professional in a text message with somebody. You don't talk to a customer like you would talk to a friend. And it's not as personable, like, hey, I'll be there in a little while. Okay. And then your response is okay. You would do that to a friend, but if a customer says, hey, I'm running a little bit late, you don't just say okay. And with AI, wouldn't it like go into and say, hey, I understand if you're going to run a little bit late. Thank you for letting me know, and be a more professional response instead of okay.
Well, the beauty of that is, I mean, you can have generative prompts to, if somebody says this, say this instance, and that's not real AI. That is just event triggering of this statement, this message.
Right.
It's the ability to detect, based upon how the consumer's language is, the sentiment, the positive, the negative, the neutral words they're utilizing in communication, to be able to render that and render the response they've given based upon previous conversation, to construct a response through machine learning and natural language processing to deliver a response that feels human-like. The hardest thing we have to back off and pull the reins on is the fact that we're talking to people. And especially with SMS based, we as an industry look at a laptop like I'm on right now, and that's how we think consumers are buying vehicles. That's how we as dealers, we look at everything. Oh, it's a laptop, looks good. It's not what the consumer engagement is. It's a cell phone. How are we texting our kids, our spouses, our friends, our family? What is that language? So adding the ability to utilize emoji and detection on sentiment of emojis, even what they send to us, and GIFs, and be able to respond to an emoji message that throw us a thumbs up, and the ability to throw the little hands and heart logo back to them when that guest gives a thumbs up. That's very natural feeling, as it would be if you and I were in a text conversation, compared to the robotic feel of yes, no, maybe this. If this happens, then say this.
Right.
So, and we have those instances. There's instances to that, but that's that's before we have engagement. And before we have engagement, you're going to have that level of automations and default messaging per the store setup. It's once the guest starts talking, that's when it becomes really native to personalized to that guest experience.
And we've in BDCs have experienced companies before that would have you name a certain person and say her name's Jennifer, and a customer at midnight is sending a message saying they submit a lead, and then they get a response. Hi, this is Jennifer with ABC Motors. See that you were looking at this vehicle today, and so then they start asking questions. Yeah, I just want to know if this vehicle is available. Oh, and in our system it shows that it's available. When would be a good time for one of our? And then the customer comes in. They want to see Jennifer.
Yeah.
So what makes Konect AI way different than the past companies, brands, or whatnot?
Because we don't name it, plain and simple. We don't name it. We're not a fictitious customer or a fictitious person. We're not Spider-Man or Batman or whatever name you can throw at it to be. We don't do it. We act on behalf of the store. So then it's the store conversating with the consumer based upon the lead they submitted with the questions they asked.
Right.
The big thing as an industry, from every BDC you've talked to, I've talked to, the struggle is to get a BDC or internet sales rep to answer the question the guest asked in the lead. We do that automatically on our first responses, which always prompts 1 to 3 responses back from the consumer. So you have to address the question, you have to answer it. But by not naming it and getting the engagement, now the guest feels like it's just a personal conversation back and forth.
Right.
Now, that's the beauty of it. Now, if somebody says, oh, hey, okay, perfect, I have an appointment, I want to come see it tomorrow, that was really helpful. Who do I have to, when I come tomorrow at 2:00, who do I ask for?
Right.
Oh, great. And that's store specific. I have the integrations of the CRM to pull over the assigned sales rep or BDC, or if the store wants it set up that everybody come in and ask for the, sales manager, that's fine too. It's customizable to the dealer operation, which it has to be. No dealership's going to operate the same. You have to provide a certain level that they can see.
So, just going to ask the question: is Konect AI a replacement for a BDC?
That is the biggest myth that a lot of people are very scared of AI. We cannot and will not replace a BDC. We are your BDC's BDC, is how I tell everybody how to look at it. Our goal is to provide 3 things for a dealer: a lift of engagement, a constant, precise communication to the guest via text message that doesn't read as an email, and we're not copy and pasting email templates in. So, those are the big pieces. But would you rather have your staff working your 1,500 active leads that you've never contacted in the past 90 days, and you're blowing all of your bandwidth on them, or focus on the opportunities that are engaging back and forth and focus on giving them a white glove experience and treating them, giving that Chick-fil-A type experience and really killing them with kindness, getting them in the door, and you're going to have a much higher show rate and close rate on those appointments because they feel like they're special.
And the BDC's BDC director, are they? You're working well with them to get used to everything that goes on inside the dealership or in the BDC department.
Yeah, no, every store is going to have its struggle of adoption, but once they start seeing the results, because at the end of the day, it's tied to one thing. BDCs, at the end of the day, for them to adopt and embrace something, it's going to be something that's going to have to affect their pay.
Right.
Period. End of conversation. So if we're going to dock pay for somebody who uses an AI that was assigned a BDC rep, that we're booking phone calls, appointments, or in-store appointments, that BDC rep still needs to do the confirmation and still reach out and follow your normal CRM workflow sequence, except for the initial text. You need to make sure that they get compensated for it. It's not a BDC is out because the AI did this. It's more or less the AI assisted to get the engagement. Now our team confirmed and got additional information. So when they come in, they're going to have a great experience, providing we don't drop the ball on that side.
Right. And, people look at BDCs as being, the redheaded stepchild. And I looked at that too back in the day because we had a third party BDC department in Dallas, Texas. And they would set appointments up for me and I would go confirm it because I wanted to make sure the customer is actually coming in. And they would say, I never said I was coming in. I told her I needed some more information. I was like, well, it looks like I have an appointment at 2 o'clock with you. They said I never made an appointment. So I had a bad taste in my mouth for BDCs. When I got into, when John Luciano at Street Volkswagen asked me to be the BDC director, I told him, I was like, man, I don't believe in that because I was a salesman. I was the internet manager at that dealership at the time. And basically I was a salesman that got all the leads. So it was like, stop calling my customers that is on autotradercars.com, Car Gurus. When the leads come in, I will handle them. We don't need a BDC. I will work everything from A to B. And so, I told John, I was like, I don't know about BDCs. I've had bad experiences. And he was like, make it the way you want to make it. So it was trying to find the right companies to come into the dealership or to the BDC where I could see ROI coming from it. Because, we hired all these companies to help generate more leads and answer at 2 o'clock in the morning or, send mass texts out. And we had bad experiences because one time the floodgates came open and I didn't have enough BDC agents to answer the phones. And it was over BS kind of stuff. And it was like, hey, you said I'd get, $10,000 off on my Jetta or on a Jetta. And it's like, where did you get this from? Well, your rep just sent me a message. And it's like, no, we didn't. So we dropped that company. And it was more like, there's a problem inside the BDC department if we have to hire companies to follow up with our customers.
I don't think so. I don't think so on that one because it's more or less the traditional BDC rep gets overworked, overwhelmed, and to accurately follow up with the opportunities they have with the right messaging rather than just clicking templates. They're maxed out if they are just to appointment. They're maxed out about 100 to 120 leads a month.
Right.
And some of these stores, 4, 5, 6,000 leads a month and looking at a 90-day rolling, but then also having to follow up with some service ones to backfill those, having to, follow up with the 1,500 KBB ICO leads that we got. They're overworked, and the only person that suffers at the end of the day is your customers because they get forgotten about. So our goal is to really get the engagement, help them understand what the situation is, answer a few questions, and get them to somebody at the store to provide an answer to a question that AI is not going to be able to handle, like a finance question where they say, I'm a 580 Beacon score with 2 repos and 1,500 cash down. Can I buy this used Explorer for $500 a month?
Right.
Hey, great. All great questions. We'd love to help. Let's go ahead and set time with one of our specialists to discuss this with you. When's a good time tomorrow? Perfect. I'm going to tee that phone call up. But if that lead comes in at 2 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon, our follow-up workflow sequence does not mirror what time the guest submitted the lead. We operate our e-com workflow processes off of store hours. Because if somebody submits it at 2 in the morning, how do you know that person is not a nurse at a hospital that's working overnight? Now you're calling them at 9 a.m. and emailing and texting them and calling your second time at 11 and blowing them up. And they just got off of work at 8:30, 9 o'clock, and they're not going to answer. And then they wake up and find 5 missed calls from the same number. The chance of them ever calling you back goes out the window. Oh, yeah. Which is why when we did the data study for overnight, and it's a really interesting fact, 40% of the average dealer's leads are submitted overnight. Only 22% of their total e-com sold in that month, 22% of their total e-com sold were from those leads that were submitted. So a little under half your lead volume is only equating to about 20% of your e-com sales. That's a huge issue I see. Not even something I tracked when I was at store, but now that I have that data, I would be peeling that onion back to find out, how can I evolve, not replace, not change? How can I evolve this process to have a better process for the guest who's submitting overnight? And then finding out, why are they submitting overnight versus submitting during the day when we're open? What is the instance happening? Is it because they don't want somebody to blow their phone up? Or is it because that's the only time they have available? Or is it because, hey, I'm at work and I have a little bit of downtime and I'm going to start doing some research? We have to be aware of what the consumer is doing and be able to respond to them in that way, rather than being reactionary as soon as we get in. Pound out all your active leads. We have 40 leads on the board. We make sure you follow up with all of them. Sure, send them an email, maybe send them a quick call. But I mean, if we get into that hot, heavy, blow them up piece, doesn't always turn out to be the best because we're not transacting with that consumer.
I see. Okay. Well, how did Jarrod get involved in AI? Were you ever in the car business before, or you just got right straight into AI?
No, I've been in the auto industry since 2004. Cut my teeth in Northeast Ohio, then moved to Florida, and cut my teeth down, or moved down to Florida back in 2006, and then was in retail here, multiple organizations, multiple roles, from finance, used car director, sales manager, everything from e-com, BDC, all the way up except for GM level. Which gave me a different view on it. And then I stepped out back in 2010, 2011, and went over to Vin Solutions. So really learned CRM process structure, building the CRM the right way, and really was able to learn the SaaS-based business with automotive and those connection points and integration. Was there, and then transitioned over to Lexus Corporate with OEM, working on their digital advising team for all of their Cox automotive dealers, which was great. Left that back in 2016, where I joined the one and only Brian Kramer over at Germain, and people, I'm sure, have heard of him, and built a great reputation for himself, and was really able to push the envelope. Together, it's like, hey, I want to do paperless deals. I want to do 100% no wedding signatures. How do we do it? I want to take digital retail to the next level. How do we do it? I want to sell a car in the metaverse. How do we do it? How do we build it? So it was really a partnership with him where you're able to really stretch the envelope to see what is and is not reality. And that is where I really started searching for AI back in 2018 to fill into an issue we were trying to solve for our metaverse project.
Right.
And was not able to find a company that could provide resolution to it. So when I stepped away from Germain about a year ago, I had connections over at Konect Ai. I was talking to him and met the CTO, Paul LaHall, and our president, Cole Kaczynski. And, just two amazing guys with a very clear vision. And collectively, the three of us were really able to provide a solution of what the dealers need. And then we've just continued to grow here dramatically in the past, 6 months.
And, you are like the poster child for Konect Ai. You've gone everywhere, to almost every conference known to man in the automotive industry. So when you think Konect AI, you think of Jarrod, and you provide so much information to people. But there's other people that never get the opportunity to get a demo, never get an opportunity to be at a conference and see what you can do to help their dealer. And it's hard for them to leave the store to go to these things. How would someone get with you on trying to see what you provide that could possibly help them?
And I open up to everybody, dealer, other, potential enterprise, partnerships, anybody who's really just wants to know more. My goal is really to help educate the industry of where AI is now, where it's going, and where the future holds for AI application inside the auto industry. So I'm here to help anybody and everybody kind of understand it better. I want to be kind of that known person for the education of AI and application. I mean, that's really my biggest goal for myself through this next year, is to bring the mass adoption through education. So anybody can reach out to me. Find me on LinkedIn, shoot me a message. I've had multiple people do that recently. Call me. Just go to the Konect Ai website, submit it there. Find me at a conference, or hey, as you know, I'm on the road and I'm going to visit dealers. Just reach out, let me know, hey, when are you going to be in, Texas? I'll give you dates. I'm going to be in Texas, and we'll put something on the calendar to come, spend a couple hours in your store just to do some education and discovery of what we can do and what the opportunity is.
And it helps. You said you've done multiple positions in the management inside the store. How important is it to be able to know everything as a used car manager, as a BDC director, finance, whatever, on the flip side of what you're doing now?
Oh, it's imperative. I mean, because you have to relate. At the end of the day, talking to Fred and Lou, we are a people business.
Mm-hmm.
We are in the people business. So we have to relate to people for the day-to-day struggles. What are the pain points for a marketing director versus a BDC manager versus a GM? Everybody has different pain points. What is, I think of it as the doctor. What prescription are you writing to what person based upon what diagnosis? And what is that from a use case scenario of AI to solve that issue at hand?
Right. And you said the key word, people business. The first time I ever heard it was from Damien Boudreaux when he was talking about Ali Reda. And then I took it in and I was like, people business. Yes. You could sell a car. Anybody could buy a car. They see it online because of the internet now. But why would they buy the car from you? Because you're in the people business. And that's basically what is important with Konect AI, is make the customer feel that you actually do care.
100%. It has to have feelings, and they have to feel like they win. I mean, I was just on with podcast a couple weeks ago, talking about it with the Chicks in Charge podcast, talking with them about it. I went through the craziest situation last month when we were on vacation in Tennessee, and the car breaking down and having to buy a car. And somebody in the business of how hard it was to get somebody to simply respond and let me know what the trade was worth in the situation. What do you have? And send me numbers. And hey, by the way, I need it tomorrow. I need to buy it tomorrow, but you're gonna have to deliver it to the hotel because here's my predicament.
Yeah.
It penciled out, it worked out great. And now, that team up there at, Short Redmond Ford up there in the middle of nowhere, Tennessee, just south of Knoxville, Brian and his team up there have absolutely built a reputation around that. And it's about serving the consumer and being transparent. That's why, they're selling the volume they're selling, because they're just doing the right thing. They're not saying, oh, what do you want your trade to be worth? Oh, when can you bring it in? Oh, it's worth this or this. Or, hey, can you get me approved, yes or no? Oh, I don't know. What can you be here so we can talk about it? It's like, why can't we talk about it now? Just
I'd rather
be transparent.
I'd rather get it all done before the customer comes in. And all they have to do is test drive the car. Yes, I love it. Let's go to finance.
Yes. I literally signed paperwork in the lobby of the hotel.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I didn't even drive it. I didn't even drive it. Came in, liked it, walked around. Everything's perfect. Okay, a little bit here or there. Cool. Yep. Only one key. Cool. Whatever. I'll figure that out. No worries. Everything else, they meet my expectations of what the need was, and you solve the need. Now you're able to do that. But most people who don't want to do that and have the control factor of, you have to come in, you have to this, that's where it gets muddy. You have to really deepen it. So the fact that we as an industry are still really pushing the different elements and forcing it to, oh, you want a firm value for your trade? You got to bring it in. You got to bring it in to get that number. And it's like, it's a matter of time before AI and the evolving immersive dealers that are focusing on customer experience before they really start taking this over and really taking market share.
It makes time easier for you as the sales rep or the manager, and also for the customer. The days of 3 or 4 or 5 hours at a dealership is going away. Customers they know what they want, they know what payment they want to be at, they know how much time they have, and time is money, and you don't want to waste it. So if they can get everything done before they come into the dealership, or like we were doing during COVID, we were taking cars to the customer. I mean,
so why did that stop? That's a great segue point. I mean, we were doing anything and everything through the times of COVID being shut down to make sure we could just sell a car.
Yeah.
Why did we abandon this as an industry?
Well, and it all goes back to it's revenue over relationships, or relationships over revenue. It's not relationships with revenue. If you make it more convenient for the customer, you will sell a lot more cars. But we're hooked on it's either or. Why can't it be both together? I mean, when did when dealerships were talking about e-contracting for so long, but then COVID happened and it was like a, a big chaos. Like, we need to start doing it now. And then even the banks were like, "Hey, we could start offering e-contracting." It's like, why didn't you do that before? Why do we have to have something so drastically happen for it to actually come through? VCI was one of them. They were like, "Absolutely, we're not doing e-contracting." Now, during COVID, they're like, "That's the only way we'll do it because everybody works from home."
Yeah.
And, so now, why are we not doing the exact same thing we were doing in COVID? We were selling more cars, making more money. Why can't we start doing it now? Why is the saying "your presence is your leverage" a saying now? Or are they here? The internet's your new showroom. It doesn't matter if the customer's here or not. Work it like they're right in front of you.
And that's the beauty of it. You just nailed it. The internet is your showroom. And 40% of your showroom traffic is coming when nobody's inside the store.
Exactly.
And that is right there just one of the reasons we as an industry need to peel the onion back and educate ourselves on AI and application. Because if for anything other than that, just after hours alone, you're going to see lift of engagement. You're going to see better conversations with consumers, and you're going to be better set up because you walk in at 9 a.m. and your leads from overnight have already been reached out to. They've already had some about 30, 40% engaged back and forth, and we've already got appointments booked for the next day at the time that fits that consumer and or people wanting to go ahead and come in tomorrow to drive this vehicle at that time too. So you're walking into a better setup right there off of those instances.
Right. Now, do you talk on the phone a lot, or do you do most of yours through email or text message?
It's in terms of AI.
Oh no,
Me personally, I'm shoot. You can. It's email, it's text, it's phone calls. It depends upon the need. It's communication is communication. It depends upon the topic. If it's something that is, a development task to develop this to make enhancements to product, those are usually in group emails because you need to be able to attach data examples to them and to be able to provide the steps to it. But if it's conversation around the situation with a dealer or dealers asking for this, it's via text or Slack messages even, or Zoom calls to jump in and talk through them. There's so many different ways to conversate. We have to find a way that works best for everyone as humans.
Well, I know when I was selling cars, I'd call somebody and they wouldn't answer. And as soon as I send them a text right after the call, ding, they would respond. They're busy. They're they're at work, they're tending to their kids, they're doing this, doing that. So the majority of the customers that I've always dealt with have been via text or via email. And I see that, with my busy schedule, being on the phone talking to somebody, you're there's noise in the background, you're cutting in and out, whatever. If I send a text, I could get more accomplished during a text and an email than I could ever on a phone conversation.
Text and email goal is to get to phone conversation.
Yes. Yes.
It's not to sell a car. The goal is to get them to a phone conversation, or if they get the information they need, to drive them to a in-store visit at that point.
Absolutely.
It comes down to, how do you measure success at the end of the day? How do you ROI as a GM? I'm spending X amount on this tool. Is it working? Yes or no? We as an industry have always, did I sell any cars to it? Nope. Okay, it didn't work. How many more did we provide engagement? What was your lift of customers that you engaged? You're spending 15, 20 grand on marketing. How many more people engaged with you that you spent money to attract to the store as a lead? You got this much higher engagement. Because at the end of the day, you could have the perfect customer on the perfect car with the perfect conversation back and forth, but they want a small discount, and that manager isn't in a good mood today, and he said nope, and the customer walks out. Is that a fault to your lead source provider who provided that perfect lead? Is that a fault of an AI tool that brought that guest in the store? Is that a fault to anything other than not wanting to take a value? No, but yet we still measure success of all the different tools in automotive retail based upon the sold element to it. And that's
Right.
the one thing we have to be aware as an industry. Sometimes we're cutting things that are actually fitting us the most, and we don't have reality to it because we're not measuring it the right way.
That's perfect. That was the answer I was looking for. So how do anybody get a hold of you if they want to see a demo of what Konect AI can do for them?
Anybody can reach out to anytime. Find me on LinkedIn. Reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram. Go to our website, Konect You can find us there and submit your information. I'll be in touch with you. Clubhouse in the morning on Modern Day Car Sales with my buddy Tom over there, or any David Long shows on Monday and Friday. Reach out to me. I'm in every channel of communication you could imagine, so you can find me almost everywhere.
There's a lot of great stuff out there. David Long, Modern Day Car Salesman. I don't partake and talk. I listen, but there's so many golden nuggets being dropped by everybody. And even in the evening, when Katie comes on and drops knowledge just to end your day. And that's how I first heard of you, was on Katie's show when I was
Yeah.
promoting the Bomb City Leadership Conference, and just listening to you. But I would, listen to Colby and Brad talk about Jared and Roy Davila and whatnot. I was like, I need to check this guy out. And we developed a friendship. Finally, got to meet each other at Digital Dealer this year in Tampa, and we just connected off real quick. And man, I love what Konect Ai is doing. I love what you're doing. You're out there. You're building relationships. You're in the people business, and you're just providing a service that's going to help solve problems for dealerships so they can sell more cars and make more money. So hats off to you, my friend, for doing what you're doing. And you have a family, right?
I have quite a large one at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I have four wonderful daughters here. So we're always on the road. We're busy, competitive sports, and they're competitive athletes traveling with gymnastics. So we
Wow.
stay busy. So we're always out and about. So it's another one of those things. Let me know, hey, what city you're in. Reach out, because there's sometimes I'm out traveling for gymnastics meets for the girls that I've gone and run over and met a dealer because they're 15 minutes, half hour away from where I'm at from a gymnastics meet, just to go sit, talk person face to face, just to not even see what we're doing, just to meet and have a cup of coffee and just talk life of automotive retail, reach out, let me know. If you're interested and connected, reach out. I would love to meet each and everybody. And it's your point. It's the little nuggets and takeaways you learn by building relationships. Exactly. That is what really helps push the industry forward and continues to be able to educate each other to continue to grow and get better with the customer first mentality.
Exactly. Wow. And you say you have 4 daughters, and you said you got in the business in 2004?
Yes.
My friend, I don't know why there's not a strand of gray hair on you. Not only getting in the car business in 2004, but having 4 daughters and having no gray hair on your head. I mean, I see a little bit of receding hairline, but
so you got the hairline going on, but
yeah, but still, I mean, and you see those video or those pictures first day in as a salesman in a car dealership, 6 months later, and the guy's all wrinkled up, no hair, gray, and everything. You've done good.
Well, it's one of those things. You got to fuel your body, you got to fuel your mind, and you have to be able to, taking Brian Kramer's words, you have to know when to be responsive, and when you have to be reactive to situations. And having that mentality of reaction versus response, or response versus react based upon situation, living your life in that format from not only work, but home and health, mental health, having those same elements, when, hey, you know what? I need to clock out. I need to have some me time. I need to go, just simply go for a walk and just clear your head. You have to be able to do all of that to be able to, be successful. Because if you burn the candle at both ends and you do that for a continual time frame, you and I both know many people in this industry that have just simply burnt out. And it's purely because we don't take the time to do the mental checkouts to be able to really make sure our head is in the right place for the next day, the next week, next month, and really spend the time to educate ourselves.
Wow. Man, and you talk about Brian Kramer. He was supposed to be on another show after this, but he's up in Boston right now. He's leaving Chicago, going to Boston. And I was like, now, you two are so busy going from here to there to everywhere. Just catching a time to get 45 minutes with you guys is an honor, because how busy your guys' schedule is. So if you think the car business is slow, it's not, because if it was, these guys would be planted at home right now, and they're everywhere. It is incredible. And I thank you for what you're doing. I thank you for what you're doing for the dealerships and providing a service that can help other people grow. I thank you very much, my friend.
No, I appreciate it. And thank you so much for having me on. And I look forward to seeing you here at another show here as fall conference season kicks off here in September. So
it does. It really does. I'm actually going to be at the Unfair Advantage Automotive Mastermind in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, in the 1st of August. I'm going to be there helping promote the place and do interviews and get out there and shake hands and connect with people and network.
Well, it looks like we'll be seeing each other in August then, my friend. And we'll have to do another version of this live in person show.
Yes, sir. I'll see you there.
Awesome.
Thank you, Jarrod.
Appreciate it. SMS lead management platform that uses artificial intelligence and machine learning to communicate efficiently and effectively with your automotive leads and customers. Our mission is to deliver the most advanced conversational AI products and support to automotive retail. There are endless benefits to using AI and automated communication in your dealership, but there are key areas where Konect AI is the right solution to address pains within the automotive industry. With Konect AI, you now have the tools to acquire more, engage faster, and convert higher. For more information, visit us online at konect.ai. I'm Jill, and thanks for watching.